And now, it's Boomer Life, lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
Welcome to Boomer Life on CIL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. A well-thought-out plan for your financial future is an integral part of building the life that you want for yourself and for your family. On Boomer Life today, we're talking about your financial future with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group Financial Services, Inc. So the big question we're asking is, are you where you want to be financially? What are some of the things you're not satisfied with? And are you actually doing something about it? I think this is probably fair for a lot of people, that there are certain things in life that we tolerate rather than saying, I'm not doing this anymore, and then initiating a change, whether it be health habits, relationships, or today's favorite, money and investments. We're still early into 2016, so it's not too late to set yourself on a great path to accomplishing your 2016 financial resolutions. And Jim Doyle, that's why he's here today, he's going to help us do this. So Jim, at this time, let me say thanks for being here and welcome back to the show.
Thanks, Joanne. It's glad to be back. I love the start of a new year. There's always so much opportunity. People are excited about the enthusiasm of achieving their goals and setting new goals for the year. When you combine passion and purpose, you've got an extremely powerful force. And when we talk about families and money, few passions are stronger. So it should come as no surprise that one of the things my wealthier clients often share is their desire to leave a legacy to their children. Show me an individual who has purpose in their life. Once they're engaged, they can accomplish almost anything. But sometimes the toughest battle is just taking those first steps.
Absolutely. So when it comes to our kids and our loved ones, there's a lot of pressure there to get it right.
Absolutely. If you're afraid of failure, you possibly can't do what needs to be done to be successful.
Well, Jim, you actually bring up a valid fear for many of our listeners. With markets as we've seen them over the past couple of weeks or even over the last year, people have to be genuinely concerned about making the right choices or fearful of making the wrong choices. How do you advise the client families that you work with when they're possibly having some moments of self-doubt?
In my opinion, and again, it's just my opinion, I think it's natural to consider that during periods of market volatility, there's an urgent sense that you need to be doing something. However, even seasoned investors can be unsure about what or anything should be done. And it's at a time like this we want to reach out to the people that we work with and reacquaint them with the soundness of the plan and the strategies they have in place. And for some families, of course, that means adjusting their portfolios appropriately.
So what I think I'm hearing right now is that confidence can actually be a casualty in times like this.
Exactly. And it's this loss of confidence that can compel people to act, maybe leading to actions that may not serve you well. Right now, we've been dealing with markets that are probably in a crisis of confidence, not necessarily one of fundamentals, at least not yet. So what am I saying? Stick to your plan, because that's the one that's probably leading you to where you want it to take you to go.
Well, I'm sure you hear this all the time, and I've actually said it myself within the last 6 months that I'm okay with risk as long as my portfolio is going up.
You're not alone there. For too many investors, risk management is really just lip service until we actually experience some risk in the markets. It's times like these that you get to see your risk management strategies play out in real time. But it's unfortunate that some people speak to risk management without actually having an actual plan in place.
Well, we all know that risk means different things to different people and that there's never an easy answer for how every person or how every fund should proceed when prices fall.
Hey, listen, I know you're probably saying, hey, listen, just take this financial aspirin and you're going to be okay.
That's what we all want.
But the truth is that there's no simple single solution. There are typically a number of different strategies and aspects to a good financial plan. So what's key, I believe, is that when you feel things are out of your hands or that when you feel that you're out of control, that's when it really weakens your resolve to follow a well-drafted plan. Now is the time when you find out if your expectations have been set properly.
I think collectively we all would like our investment advisors to know what's happening next, looking into the future, but I don't think anyone really knows how things are actually going to turn out. So what's the best thing you can do for your clients that you work with in volatile times like this?
In my opinion, most of the time, the best sources of financial advice are not those who claim to have all the answers about what's going on. I really think that the best ones ask the right questions.
Well, naturally, I would say here, well, what are some of those questions?
I know in my practice, I want to understand why people feel a certain way. Okay, what have they done in the past that might cause them to have fear about what it is they're doing? And why do they feel they need to do something different? I think those are key before we get them to do something in a different path, maybe.
It's just all about starting that conversation. So, Jim, I actually think it's during times of market volatility like we've been experiencing that we need to think about having that written financial plan, that we'd actually benefit from it. But I don't think most of us know exactly what it is, what it covers, what it entails. So what would you like to say to our listeners here?
Well, have you got 4 or 5 hours? No, I'm just kidding.
No, actually, we want that quick fix, like 4 or 5 minutes is about what I got. But
fair enough. Okay. Your plan should be easily adaptable to the constant changes you're bound to encounter in the future, and it should be focused on achieving your long-term life and retirement goals.
So what do you actually need to know when starting out your financial plan?
Well, this is where the help of a good financial planner can be invaluable. In general, a financial plan is a comprehensive evaluation of someone's current and future financial state by using currently known variables to predict things like cash flow, asset values, and withdrawal plans. And often this includes a budget that includes a series of steps for specific goals for spending and saving for the future.
You actually make it sound very simple, which we appreciate. Do you think people sometimes still confuse the difference between an investment plan and a financial plan?
Absolutely. I see it every single day. A financial plan consists of an investment plan, but to be complete, it must include goals and objectives, a net worth statement, estate planning, cash flow analysis, tax analysis, retirement income planning, risk management analysis, investment recommendations, and of course, if you're a business owner, business succession planning.
So the difference that I'm hearing you speak about right now is the financial plan is sort of the bigger picture plan, whereas the investment plan is just a small portion of that bigger plan. Am I on the right page?
That's correct. It's just a component.
Okay. So now that we've established exactly what that financial plan should entail, can you tell us why it's essential to put the time and the energy into actually making it?
Well, I have 3 reasons I believe a written financial plan will help you. First is, a plan will help you clarify your most important priorities. It'll help you identify and address your current realities. And number 3, most of all, a plan will serve as a roadmap for the steps that you need to accomplish what matters most to you.
I think a lot of this would basically come down to trust. You have to be able to trust that the person helping you with your life savings is actually providing advice, behavioral counseling, and managing your personal risk accordingly.
Financial security isn't just for good times. I think advisors need to be speaking to investors, offering reassurances needed, providing actual advice on things that they can do, and see if any course adjustments are required on their financial plan.
So what I'm hearing is that essential conversations need to take place between advisors and their clients. Yet another area of essential conversation that seems to get less attention is that of money and families. This is a sensitive subject and one that families often need a helping hand to explore in a lot more detail.
I agree. When we talk about families and money, it can be a very emotional subject, open to family conflict and unfulfilled wishes. One of the things my wealthiest clients often share is their desire to leave a legacy to their children. Unfortunately, for many families, they are unaware that this area of planning is more involved than they originally anticipated. All the best planning in the world is lost if the heirs are not prepared for their part in the planning initiatives. You know, there's a recent Wall Street Journal article that talked about research among wealthy families. And what it said was 70% of the wealth had disappeared by the second generation and 90% had evaporated by the third.
Wow, staggering statistics. But is that because of poor taxes or poor investment performance or taxes? Has that got anything to do with it?
No, actually, the reason had little to do with those issues. It was all about the heirs not being appropriately prepared and the lack of trust and good communication. They don't understand their rights, roles, or responsibilities around money. Working with the whole family, I help foster communication because of the sensitivities around family and money.
So do you have a sense this is common for most financially comfortable families? And how do you help parents harness that parent power?
You know, if you consider that only 36% of wealthy families have told their kids how much they stand to inherit, or have made disclosure of even the assets that are likely involved, families are fearful their kids are not going to accomplish all that they can in life. They're anxious about just how much information they should share, and they're fearful that their kids will see them as their ATM. In our multi-generational approach to wealth management, we talk about the rights, the roles, and responsibility around family money. We're able to help the parents have these conversations and involve the next generation through family meetings.
So going back to your statistics, if 90% of family wealth had evaporated by the third generation, wouldn't wealthy families want to get some help to avoid this?
For people with serious money, you know, and I think we're talking, you know, maybe somewhere between 7 or 8 figures, okay? Few elements are more important than helping their children, their adult children, and maybe even their grandchildren inherit successfully. Not just to worry about the investment component, but to talk about all of the important elements of managing clients' financial affairs.
This anxiety can actually also create a lot of tension within the family.
Absolutely. There was a 2015 survey put out by the American Psychological Association that found that money is one of the leading causes of stress. And for people between the ages of 18 and 49, 64% found that money was somewhat or a very significant source of that stress.
I think we all agree with that.
You know, and we said this before, money creates stress. And almost a third of adults with partners reported that money was a major source of conflict in their relationships. It's been estimated that maybe 90% of divorces are around money issues. But you can live happily ever after, financially speaking, if you work at not letting financial issues come between you and your family.
And many of these worries around personal responsibilities and the economy are likely tied to money concerns as well.
Joanne, I can't say this enough. When it comes to money-related stress, working with an experienced financial planner and following a plan can truly make a difference. People who work with a comprehensive written financial plan feel more confident that they'll meet their financial goals and obligations.
It's great advice. Today we're speaking with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. If uncertainty is creeping into your life and you can count yourself amongst those feeling a little apprehensive about your financial future, I would like to encourage you to take that first step. Give Jim a phone call, 604-682-5431. People who follow a written financial plan express higher levels of confidence and satisfaction during down markets. Stay with us. Jim offers his tips on essential conversations that you might be missing with your advisor. That's all coming up next on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.